Hello, and welcome to the Broke But Not Broken podcast. This is episode Q, and I am your host, Destocat, aka Des. So I know it's been about 4 weeks since the last episode, but school has started again, and I have gotten a lot busier. But mainly it's because I've not been in the mood to record, as per usual. So we're on episode Q, which means we have episode R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Wait, I messed up. LMNOPQ. R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. 9 more episodes left for this pilot season, which doesn't really feel like a pilot since it's been going on for over a year now, I think. When was the first episode? The first episode was June 2nd of last year. So yeah, it's been over a year now. And we have about 17 episodes out. Or as of recording this one. So yeah, my goal is to finish these last 9 episodes by the end of the year. So that once it hits the new year, I can start a new season, which would no longer be the pilot. Hopefully I can make adjustments to what I've liked in terms of my recordings and, maybe just have a new presentation overall. So yeah, it's been 4 weeks since the last recording. I have a lot of catch-up material, but again, because time has passed, I don't want to dwell on these things for too long, so I'm just going to go through them fast. That way I don't have to have another catch-up episode for the next episode. All right, let's go with a couple of movies that I've seen. I watched the movie Fall. It's a new movie. Maybe if you've seen a movie in theaters recently, it might have appeared in the trailers. It's like one of those movies where the characters are stuck on a really tall radio tower for the entirety of the movie. And will they escape? That's the question. Spoiler, they do escape. Or one of them does, the other one dies. It was okay. It's nice at-home popcorn, want to tune out movie. I don't drink, but I feel like this is one of the movies where like somebody would say it's gonna be a better movie if you drink. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy the aspect of like movies where it all takes place in the same spot for the most of the movie. So that part was fun. Yeah, Fall, I would not recommend watching it over the hundreds of better movies out there, but it was okay. Like a throwaway movie night. There's a play called Prime Facie, which I believe is... I don't know if I'm saying that right. What does Prime Facie mean? Prime Facie means it's something regarding the law. It's based on... It's an adjective. The definition says... based on the first impression, accepted as correct until proven otherwise, aka that is the grounding merits of our law system here in the United States. So I went to see the play, a recording of the play Prima Facie in theaters. So it wasn't a live production, it was just a recording of a live production. And it was amazing. It was a one-person play. I know last time I talked about Golden Shield and how I loved how bare bones it was, and it was my first time seeing a play, and this is kind of like my second time seeing a play. It was very. I don't want to spoil it this one actually because it was really really good. It's just a really strong subject matter. It's about the law regarding sexual assault. It's very relevant to things that are going on these days. So. I also learned that Prima Facie, which is coming to Broadway next year in the United States, I believe. So hopefully I'm going to get the chance to watch it again live. And when it does come out, I recommend everyone to go see this. It's nice. I always enjoy seeing these shows about law. Someone recommended me this play after I told them how much I liked Golden Shield, probably because they thought I would like something similar with the law. They weren't entirely wrong, but I didn't watch Golden Shield because of law. I watched it because of just because. But I think I am starting to like these plays about the law because it makes things more dramatic, and I assume in real life law cases are a lot more stale. Studio Ghibli is a anime production company. They make a lot of Disney-esque anime movies where like they're more like for children. Everybody probably knows the movie Spirited Away, whether you're an anime fan or not. Actually, I'm drinking out of a Spirited Away mug right now. Anyways, at one point, I thought my favorite Ghibli film was, Spirited Away. But then as I watched more films, I thought my favorite film became The Wind Rises, which is one of their newer films. It was about planes and engineering and love. I thought, I could project myself in a fantastical way to the characters in that movie. But as I went through the entire filmography of Studio Ghibli's productions, I started watching each film from the beginning. And then one movie really hit me. It's called Only Yesterday. I don't want to spoil anything about the movie because I find it beautiful. Although it's nothing you can really spoil because in itself it's really a slice of life and just a retrospective on life. But mainly what I take away from the movie Only Yesterday is that it reminds me of how fast time is passing, and like it can hit you instantly. If you haven't seen Only Yesterday and you like anime or just like things that are slice of life, check it out. I went to go see it in theaters because it was having another limited run in the theaters, which they usually do every year or so for a day or two. But I just want to complain that it was not my first time seeing this movie. And first time I saw it at home, second time I'm watching it in theaters. I did want to complain about the audience. And maybe I'm just being a bit of a hater, but they were laughing at every little scene. And it was just, I don't know, I found it a bit annoying and frustrating because I see this movie as like a beautiful piece of just like daily life and nostalgia. But like, so there are moments where when the character is gives flashbacks of them being a kid and they do a lot of cute things or embarrassing things or just like stuff that makes his characters like blush or just seem a little goofy. And I think that extremely calls for smiles and grins and little chuckles. But I feel like the audience was just over laughing, both in volume and also in the amount of times they laughed throughout the movie. And again, I know I'm just coming off as a hater, but I just think it really kind of ruined the experience for me. It was one of the first times where I sat down at the theater and I wanted to get up and ask for a refund. I didn't do that, but I really, really considered it. Just because, like, for me, it ruined my experience. I didn't care that they laughed. I cared how much they laughed and the amount, I feel like maybe if it was cut in half, it would have been fine. Yeah, that's my little rant. I did confirm, well, kind of, if I would have been able to even get a refund. And one of my friends who used to work at a movie theater, he said there was a good chance I could have got a refund. So in the future, I might just do it because I'd feel probably better at the fact that I preserved my experience rather than like sat through something that I didn't want to. I think my stuff is not in the order I want to talk about, but instead, I'm still gonna go in that order. I want to talk about my secret video project. For the past couple of years, maybe when I say past couple, in this case, I mean like at least 10 or so. I've always wanted to become like an anime YouTuber. I watched some anime YouTubers. They do reviews, they do analysis, they do recap, summaries, opinions, tier lists about anime. I always wanted to do that, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. One, because I really didn't want to create stuff that nobody was gonna watch, because I was lazy and I didn't have it in me or the skills or experience to video edit or properly record, or if I wasn't gonna show my face, what would I show on screen? And then on top of that, I had paranoia with what can I show? I didn't want to get copyrighted, because I didn't want to work hard on something, get clips, and then just have the video removed. And so I didn't really know how that stuff worked. I didn't know if the people who kept taking clips were just above it all, or they just knew they weren't going to get caught, or they could afford to get caught because they had other content. Also, I didn't really know how to... It's easy to talk on the queue, but it's difficult to script a analysis of an anime or any piece of media, because I didn't know how, It's I personally think I'm a funny person, but I don't think I can joke right. Or I don't think I can do stand-up, which means I can't joke right. But I think I'm more funny in the moment. Similarly, with the anime videos that I would want to make, I wouldn't know how to go about scripting these. So I'm an overthinker. I overthink everything. So I wouldn't even know how to sit down and make a video. Because I also don't want to ramble for an hour, right? Nobody's going to watch an hour of me rambling about an anime. It needs to be nice 10, 20 minutes of concise content. Like a new take on something. But, the point is I never tried. So I had some time, and I had the mood and the space. So over these 4 weeks, at one point, I decided to attempt to make a single anime video. Whether it leads to anything bigger or not, I wanted to try. So I marathoned the new anime Spy Family Season 1, and I took notes for each episode. I gathered information about the production, and I recorded a video and edited it down to 30 minutes or so. I originally made the video where I wanted to do a review on the anime, but what ended up happening is it became basically a summary where I talk about each episode one by one what happens. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of happy I made this video. It's not the best. I think it gives a pretty decent summary, 30 minutes of the entire 12 episode show. So yeah, I made a summary recap video on Spy Family, the anime. So it has about 50 views right now. I doubt it's gonna go any higher, but please check it out if you watch Spy Family and want to review, or you just want to see me recap an entire anime you might never watch. I had fun making it. I know it's not perfect, but it gave me a little bit of closure on my anime YouTuber career that I've always wanted to establish. So yeah, that was a fun that's my secret video project. So check out that. I'm going to link in the description. It's on a different YouTube channel. I want another guest episode, ASAP. So if you're listening and you want to be a guest, let me know. We could record it even tomorrow if you listen to this today. You just let me know. I think I'll probably have to be a weekend. Just 20-30 minutes of your time, just if you want to talk or rant about anything going on. Or just, we can find a topic of discussion to share. So anybody listening, let me know if you want to just hop on an episode with me, just rant about nonsense. Upcoming stuff, which is no longer upcoming because I've seen it already. I saw my second play in live if you don't count Prima Facie, because I saw it as a film recording. It was called Once Upon a Korean Time. I thought it was great. I had low expectations for it just because. I really like Golden Shield. I just have like bitter regret that I might not be able to see this play again. But anyways, so Once Upon a Korean Time, it was by one of the Asian American theater companies that was recommended to me. I don't really when it comes to plays for me, I don't want to see the bigger productions like Harry Potter and Hamilton and Beetlejuice and all that stuff. I prefer to see like smaller productions. I just think that's like where I'm gonna see more interesting stuff. So I saw Once Upon a Korean Time. Basically, it was a film that took Korean folk tales that I guess people in Korea as children were told. Korean folk tales, for us it's like, Cinderella and stuff like that. Korean folk tales, and it spread them out over political events that were happening in Korea and America. So it's really hard to describe. It's been about 2 weeks now since I watched it. But basically, yeah, it was nice. It's like, because it was very fresh. I'm actually a little bit upset that I kind of is fading away. And again, this play recently just ended production, September 18, I believe, and there's a chance I'll never be able to see this play again. But that's what makes it so beautiful, right? That it's not like I can go to Netflix and just watch it again. I can't. You can't. Nobody can see this play again. Most likely, unless it has another production. Or it has a recording out there, which is also possible. But it won't be the same as live, ever. Yeah, I don't want to dwell on it because I can't really remember. But a lot of the folk tales mentioned characters which I feel like I heard before. And then I remembered that in the game Maple Story, there was a place called the Korean Folk Town, I want to say. Korean Folk Village. Korean Folk Town. The characters in that town in the Maple Story game and the quest line that's associated with those characters actually has the actual names of these folktale characters and their stories. So I thought that was fun. I might want to replay that quest line and then actually know these folktale stories. I would actually talk about each individual folktale, but the details are escaping me right now. So I don't want to just butcher it. I don't want to butcher it. But there were like little tales, like like Cinderella and stuff. Like there was a Korean Cinderella, but at the end of Korean Cinderella, it's the only one I'll tell because I can kind of remember. The Cinderella, she gets to be with the prince at the end because he puts the glass slipper on her. But the bonus part is that the stepmom and the stepsisters, they get cooked and they eat them for soup or something. So it's a lot more darker than the American telling of Cinderella. And then finally, I will talk about I saw my very first stand-up special, or I saw my very first stand-up performance, comedy stand-up. One of my favorite podcasts, Bad Friends, which is hosted by Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. They came to New York for like a one-day thing, and they performed a little stand-up and a little Q&A, and it was good. It was a great time. Just like theater, you can't really record. There's not much clips of it online. I'm glad I got to see them do some stand-up. It was really funny. Yeah, I can't. Again, it's a little bit of a blur, but yeah, it was a good time. If they came back again, I would definitely want to see them. They had two openers, which were also hilarious. It's nice to be in a moment where like people are just like being as vulgar as possible, and everybody in the room is laughing. It's just a good time all around. Also, definitely check out the Bad Friends podcast. One, it's way better than this one, and two, it's comedy gold. They do a lot of improv on the podcast, which I'm trying to incorporate more in my life. I think it's fun. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. I tried to hit everything, but next time's gonna be another catch-up episode too. But I'll try to definitely get everything out of the way this time or next time. Anyways, I'm gonna leave another music piece at the end. Or the song I'm gonna put at the end is by this band called Motionless in White. They're a really cool band. I just discovered them recently. They have like this gothic emo aesthetic, which I personally find really cool. I'm gonna play the song Meltdown, which is the first track on their newest album, which came out this year, called Scoring the End of the World. And yeah, they're going on tour, and they're going to be in New York on November, and maybe I will see them. I'm not sure yet. I'll decide that last minute. Anyways, thank you for listening. Stay tuned after to listen to Meltdown by Motionless in White. And have a good day.